It's
Listen.
fine. We're doing good. Anyways.
So we alluded to this in the first two rambles, and again, I'll reiterate for those who might be curious why our format suddenly changed. Basically, there is an issue with the audio in syncing with the video. I know exactly what the problem is, but I don't have advanced enough software to deal with the issue. So the easiest way to deal with the issue is actually to just change the formats and have shorter video recordings and audio so that they sync better. So, here we are in the topic for episode 12 of Great Scott Marcus, and it's going to be possibly a bit depressing.
Which is kind of sad, because it's episode 12, and it's been kind of a, I don't know,
I think
a riveting first half.
I think it was. I mean, I think there's still a chance for us to enjoy this, but it's also a bit of a markation on what's kind of like a very poignant point or mark or
Gotcha.
point within the timeline, because you went through something recently, and I actually meant to ask if you intend to bring that up and bring it up tactfully.
I'm going to spread the details on it.
You don't have to, good. And, I obviously go through something regularly because I live in pain. And that's important to talk about because depression is one of those things that's very easy to look at and be like for outside people to look at and be like, oh, boo-hoo! And, because, I've even felt that way towards those who are just like, well, I'm depressed, and I'm just like, wah! And at the time, and I didn't, mean that at the time, and I didn't treat them in that way, but, for anyone who's on the outside of it, it's very easy to look at and be like, life is tough. And as I've been depressed this week, I even say that to myself, but that's really not the way that, you should approach others who deal with this, because it is, it's fascinating. Even as the person who's going through it, as I just mentioned, I have felt depressed this week. I felt depressed for about the last month, and it is at times where I feel like, I have all of this stuff in front of me, my computer, my games, shows, I have very much learned to live within my situation, keep myself entertained, keep myself distracted from pain. But, as I'm feeling depressed, I will notice that there are times where I'm just starting to almost curl up into a ball like this, and I'll just be looking down, and like I'll catch myself after a couple minutes, and I'll just be like, "Fuck, okay, I need something to but you don't even you might not even realize that you're doing that. That almost like this pressure is weighing upon you, and that there's something wrong, and you need to figure it out and realize what it is. Or in my case, I do. I guess I have to keep going because that's a lot about me. So,
I feel like you can speak generally about it too. It's depression is a real thing. If you want to talk about
it's a part of the human condition, and it's definitely not something that. So like we've kind of attacked this before in a way, man culture, where it's just like, sack up, stop crying, and, go cut a tree down. Yeah, it's
kill a bear with your bare hands.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you should try to man through.
Right? No, absolutely. I cry like a motherfucker. Like, give me the right movie, and I've cried like I've watched commercials, and I'm not talking about just like the ASPCA.
Oh my god,
commercials. I turn those off because I can't. But like, the 30-second commercials that I'm watching was like
the Clydesdale commercial from 2 years ago, during the Super Bowl, where
it goes down to one knee at the.
He trained it, raised it from childhood, and then it's part of this guy's job, and he sold it, and then he goes into the city to watch the parade, and then the horse finds him afterwards. And a huge part of that was because my dog died that year, so like I was just like, all
the feels.
Yeah, but it's just like there is so much to this, and you know, part of what I have to mention about depression is also what people might pull from this and what might actually make them stronger from this. I don't think it's often emphasized enough how one can grow from this. Instead, it's often emphasized like, oh, well, I've been through depression and it just sucks. And it's just like, well, yes, but what did you gain from it? And not everybody's going to gain something from it, but like from personal experience, I have. You know, like I went into this pain issue and I started my website, and then the website fell through because I didn't. Is that a spider? I'm going to burn the house down if that's a spider.
That's all you can do.
It's yeah. There literally should be an insurance for a house burning down because of spider. It's not a spider. Good.
And you're back.
And so you know, like there were a lot of things that started to weigh on me, health, and the fact that I felt like I'd failed at something I had dreamed to try to achieve. I'm happy that I tried, but I definitely didn't succeed. And so there was a lot of time where, and especially coming out of college, being social, going for drives, talking to people, going to bars, having a drink, you know, like these were all things I had to abandon because my body literally physically could not handle. I still can't go to a bar and just sit on a bar stool for hours and just hang out and have a drink and watch the sports ball and shoot the shit. Yeah, and it's just, it's something I couldn't do. And, you know, because of that, yeah, there was depression, and I had to learn to cope with that and keep myself occupied, not only to distract from the pain, but to distract from the fact that things kind of sucked. And I really engrossed myself in games, and they really helped with that. And on the other side of that, as you have seen, and, you know, as, again, referencing our call from this week, even noted that, like, because of what I have been through, I am better off that I am so separated from American culture, where it's like I don't feel this drive to go out and, you know, experience American culture and be in a bar and party and look at chicks, and maybe one of them will grind on me, and maybe, you know, she'll let me take her home and do things to her. And it's just like those things are so unimportant to me now. And because of a depression I went through, I am better off because I am so satisfied by these things around me that a lot of people who do still go out and feel like they need American culture, you know, that still have gaming systems and nice computers, it's just like they're not satiated by these things as I am. So it's like, yeah, I enjoy a simpler lifestyle because I learned through depression. There's important things to take away from it too. There's a lot to unpack that I have said within these first 10 minutes.
I don't even know where to begin now. There's so much that was just said.
Well, first you start with the bra. Does it have a front clip or a back clip? And
dude, front clips are the fucking worst because you're like, what the hell? And then I get depressed about it because you're
I just skip. Like, if I'm being honest, I would skip the whole process and just be like up and over the head. Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Sports
this can be uncomfortable though, so you have to understand. You know what? We're morons. Let's step back. Like, why does it happen? And, you know, like, again, there's so much to unpack. Like, I am a very reasoning person when it comes to my emotions. Most of the time, if I'm in a funk, I can pull myself out of it very easily. When I went to a pain management program, a lot of the people there, even the doctors and psychologists, were a bit perturbed by the fact that I could, like they'd try to bring up emotional things, and I'd just be like, and move past it because, like, oh, this is emotional because of, A, B, and C, and if I just, reason past that, that there's no point to get upset over it because it is past, and getting upset will benefit no one,
right?
Then, I will be better off. I think that's something you've even been coming to terms with, is reasoning past things.
Yeah, I mean, there's reason, there's logic, distractions, learning, pretty much all of that.
But like the thing of if you don't mind my bringing it up, we were talking recently over a game about how it's just like, oh man, this song is playing right now, and I'm feeling this way, and it's so pertinent that this song is playing right now, and it's just like, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Is it? No, it's not. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like when you're in a funk of any kind, especially depression. I mean, well, I want to preface this like I don't suffer from chronic depression or anxiety or
nor I.
Any of those psychological imbalances, because that's essentially what they are. It's mostly, I don't say it's caused by chemical imbalance, but that's what's going on in your brain when you're experiencing these. Which, again, I don't chronically experience these, but I think everyone at some point in their life does experience a depression, a bout of anxiety.
It's a part. It is literally a part of the human condition.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an emotion that can be far too chronic, where it lasts way too long.
The worst can happen. People commit suicide because of depression and anxiety.
Exactly.
And I kind of also want to say, whatever we say here is probably not meant for everybody, because everyone's different. This way, everyone's chemical imbalance is different. Like, we're saying we can pull ourselves out of it. That doesn't mean you can, but
I should get in the habit of saying this is a conversation show. This is a conversation between me and you, because we do cover some pretty heavy topics at times, and it is worth that kind of preface that like, this is conversation between me and you. 0 frames per second. I'm not the best with
words, so I don't want to like come off as like any kind of expert or giving advice when I shouldn't be. This is just based off of personal experiences.
Yeah, this is just me and you talking. So
yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
Fuck, what was I talking about?
Penises. Like
those are depressing. Jesus.
Yeah, they are. Attraction's a really weird thing. If we're gonna ramble here, just in general, because like it's like when you're in high school, in my experience as a guy, it's just like, oh man, how are guys even attractive? As a straight male, I should really preface it. It's just like, how are girls attracted to guys? It's got to be their humor, because clearly, it's just like
dudes are idiots, man.
Yeah, they're just completely unattractive, and it's just like attraction is such a weird thing that like no one else can understand about anyone else. Like, and since I have plenty of friends, I can say this safely without pointing anyone out. One of my friends actually came out recently to me. He was just like, yeah, me and my boyfriend. And I was just like, well, you either had an epic autocorrect or you discovered something about yourself. And, then we actually caught up in a phone call, and, we were talking, and I was just like, I really think by the end of our lifetimes, we're going to start, hopefully, seeing our kids being taught that it's no longer, like, well, men are attracted to women and women are attracted to men, and sometimes, men are attracted to men, women are attracted to women, but they're fucked up. And now we're in a stage where it's just like, yeah, and there's men who are attracted to men, and there's women who are attracted to women.
That's how it should be.
And we're starting to come into a period where it's just like, oh, and there's women who want to be men and men who want to be women.
Who are attracted to men and women who look like men.
and I think the end result, hopefully by the end of our lifetimes, I think it would be wonderful if this became the case where it's just like attraction is fucking wild, and you're going to be attracted to mostly one gender, but then one day you might discover that, like, man, I've been attracted to women for so long, but this fucking guy right here, like, I don't know why, but, like, I just want to, like, stick my penis in all of his holes.
Who doesn't? Have you seen me?
I don't, but, like, I think that's a very healthier approach, as long as we're helping developing adults to understand that you have to be responsible about your attraction. Like, it is not healthy to be like, oh man, I'm so attracted to her. Let's find out where she lives and, like, how many boyfriends she's had and
what their names are and should I kill them and
healthy attraction. It doesn't matter what gender, color, any of that. Attraction is attraction.
Yeah. And everyone's got a personal
granted, maybe you shouldn't be so limited as only beards or only big black dicks or Ramble / Ramble.
Should we, like, include the link to the porn conversation that we had?
So anyway,
I think to come full circles, everyone's different. That's how you deal with attraction and how you deal with stresses in your life and how
those might depress you. Being full circle, like, like we even talked about that. Me and my buddy, it was just like, it was often very difficult to have this thing that I felt I could not talk about, and it's just it's wild how,
So I had a friend of a friend, actually, and the friend told, well, I think it was a family member of a friend. It doesn't fucking matter. But anyways,
it doesn't fucking matter. Stop watching.
That I've met before that is close to a person that I am close to. Anyways, I ended up coming out recently to this person's parents and was dealing with a hard time. Like they're never gonna accept it, but like my friend and her mom were like, no, like, it's fine, like, we love you, but like,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
If I ever have a kid, God forbid I ever have a kid, because I don't want you. I'm sorry if you're watching this, child. But I was very much at this time not into having kids. But if you ever come out to me, I'm just going to be like, it's fine. You want to play video games?
Let's go pick up dudes. Let's go.
Do you want to play the video games with me now?
Video games.
Or gay son or daughter.
Yeah.
You were saying, I'm sorry.
Damn, that
you were a friend who came out to it's
just the idea, like, she was saying, like, how she was very depressed and didn't know how her parents were dealing with it, and they're dealing with it poorly, and and saying all sorts of pretty bad shit, and she does still have a network of support structures, I think, what I'm looking for, in the friend and like other family members. So it's just, I don't know. I think personally for me, it's just a matter, and I think for you too, it's a matter of to claw out of it, you got to find something to claw your way out of it, whether it's people.
That was perfect timing.
Why?
Because I wanted to say, like, one of the things that has always helped me through any depression at any point in my life, whether it was back in high school where I was very much bullied, picked on, what have you, or recently with pain in my life, or even in college, understanding oneself.
That's huge.
And knowing how to deal with yourself, especially when you can't have others around you, whether because they're busy or because you don't have the financial means to go out, or video
that's
games.
Not even the best thing to do either. Like, you don't, like, sometimes you need to deal with it with yourself. Like, if you have other people in your life telling you A, B, C, D through X what to do, how you should feel, like, that's just going to make it worse, more confusing. So sometimes, like, you do need to kind of sit down, reflect on yourself, and say, okay, deal with the situation, like acknowledge what's going on, what's causing you pain, and you need to, I don't know, look past, like not only look past it, but learn from it. Like you had said, you got to acknowledge what's going on and learn from it in a way where you can overcome this boundary.
So,
yeah, that was good.
Actually, we're going to stop the first half of the topic there. And then we'll get into the second half of the topic, of this topic, in the second half of the recording. Again, this is for editing purposes because of issues in audio. So, all right, we'll see you guys in the second half.